an answer to these challenges. You know that the term cloud computing refers to delivery of computing resource and platform software on demand. Instead of buying, owning, and maintaining their own data center and servers, organizations can acquire technologies from cloud providers on as needed basis. During COVID-19, the cloud technology became a lifeline for governments needing to provide urgent service from emergency hotlines to online education. According to the Gartner's report, the proportion of IT spending that is shifting to cloud will accelerate after the COVID-19 crisis. You can see the IT spending on public cloud service is growing continuously from 2018 to 2024. As compared with traditional non-cloud service, it remains with little changes. Growth in revenue is 3 times larger. In the right graph, you can see the V-shaped recovery at the year 2020. It means an expectation of a recovery from COVID-19, and you can say the COVID-19 crisis is accelerating adoption of public cloud as economic conditions are more improved. As an example, application software, it is one of the cloud shift categories. You can find the application software licensed and deployed as a traditional fashion with application purchase. It is changing to the software as a service, SaaS, and is consumed via public cloud. Okay, so prominent. Let me explain the situation in Korea. So how COVID-19 is accelerating cloud transformation. In the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Korea economy has encountered 2 major challenges, aiding recovery from a severe economic recession while addressing the structural transformation. In order to recover from the economic recessions, Korean government selected the digital transformation strategy. Digital New Deal, it focuses on strong integration of the DNA technologies and promoting the untapped industries. DNA means the data, 5G network, and AI. Government plans to build a large-scale ICT infrastructure, including the data dam, which serves as a foundation for data-driven economy by accelerating the digital transition and cloud transformations. Inside of a digital New Deal project, for making a smart government to utilize the 5G and AI, the cloud transitions of public service will be executed within 5 years. 100% of public information system will be transferred to a cloud, except very sensitive internal information systems. At this slide, let me touch us a little bit about the technologies. As you know, cloud-native technologies are reshaping IT infrastructure and application platform ecosystems. More scalable, elastic, and programmable infrastructure technologies are gaining popularity over traditional ones, with container being a core technologies. As the infrastructure becomes programmable, IT operation tasks become software engineering tasks and skill-based and developer-centric. The operational roles within an enterprise are also redefined, such as platform ops. The concept of cloud native can be explained by 4 terms as shown in the slide. So DevOps and continuous delivery, microservice, and containers. Cloud's nature, such as scalable, elastic, method by use, programmable, API-driven, and self-provisioning, those create new ecosystems, new player new open source project, and the new way of applying technology into business. And you may already know that the hyperscale cloud service provider have a crucial role in the cloud native ecosystems by offering integrated cloud infrastructure and platform services. Okay, so I believe that you can get the helpful information through this event. This K-Cloud Startup Summit is aimed to introduce Korea's competitive SaaS solutions, and it is prepared by Naver Cloud. So let me explain about the Naver Cloud briefly. It started since April 2017, and we are fastest growing Korean public cloud service provider. We have three kinds of zones according to the customer types: public cloud, government cloud, and financial cloud. We are providing public cloud service for enterprise and individuals, for government, and for finance industries with 4 data centers in Korea and 6 global regions. This is our cloud service portfolio. We are providing over 160 service products within 50 categories. Okay, who are using our cloud? You can find familiar names such as Samsung, SK Telecom, and Battleground. Yes, many kinds of Korean companies are using our Naver Cloud. Lastly, I would like to explain our global business strategy. Yes, we are Korean public cloud service provider. Needless to say, our global strategy is companionship with Korean technology companies, especially SaaS companies. In Korea, there are many small and medium-sized software companies, and they are eager to expand their business to the global. However, it is not easy, difficult to learn, including global marketing, some things. So we want to help each other by forming a fleet of ships with IaaS CSP and SaaS solution partners. As a part of our companion approaches, we have opened this K-Cloud Scale-Up Summit 2020 with several SaaS partners. I hope this event be a gate to enter and plug into Korean competitive technology and the companies. You can find interesting SaaS solutions developed by Korean companies. Okay, I tried my best to explain how the post-COVID-19 era is accelerating the cloud transformation. And I suggested you, for your business growth up and to speed up your innovation, please look at and focus on SaaS service. I hope you can find the answer to your business need through this event. There are bright and competitive Korean SaaS solutions who are along with Naver Cloud. Naver Cloud is a leading public cloud service provider in Korea, and we are helping our SaaS partners. Today, even though we didn't get together in one place, but we believe we can communicate to each other, so we can understand with each other, and we can feel with each other through this online event. Thank you for listening to my speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Park. Thank you for sharing insights. As you pointed out, the demand of the cloud computing will be continued to increase during the pandemic, even after the pandemic. In order to support the core industry sectors such as education, finance, or healthcare. And Naver Cloud is, the Korea is one of the fastest growing market for cloud computing, and Naver Cloud is one of the leading cloud computing providers in Korea. The second keynote speaker is the chairman of Asia Cloud Computing Association, Mr. Hui, entitled "The Post-COVID-19 Prospects: The Impact of Pandemic on the Asia Pacific Cloud Computing Industry." Mr. Hui has pre-recorded his presentation, so let us watch that.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric Hui, and I'm the chair of the Asia Cloud Computing Association. It is my pleasure today to have a presentation to you all about the impact of the pandemic on the Asia Pacific cloud computing industry. It has been a very challenging 10 months. The cloud computing industry is moving along pretty well and is trying to do its very best to serve what about after or post-epidemic. Now, there's a lot of uncertainty in that. But then, because we are uncertain about when we will be able to resolve the effects of the pandemic, it's hard to predict. So that will continue to drive the cloud and data center demand in the next year to two. And for most of the enterprises out there, because of the uncertainty that they're riding upon, demand predictions are very difficult. But then they're going to just focus on surviving and sustainability. So they relied on the current infrastructure, or even if there is supported evidence on some of the data sets or the product sets that they're using rely on cloud, they will continue to do that until at least we can see in the near future. Now, as far as the public sector, we've seen actually a lot more spending happening from the government sector side, because we have to cover the health tech side from the pandemic point of view from a very much more direct approach. But there's also a lot of other government services that the citizens rely on, which actually warrants a lot more growth and a lot more resource allocations that is heavily looked at by governments across the region. And hence, in the next slide in here, I generalize there's 4 areas that will be further investment in cloud services. The one on the left-hand side on health and healthcare services, we see there will be a lot more emphasis in genomics, health optimization, and telemedicine. The genomics side definitely we see of genomic sequencing, because we're trying to use genomic information to try to find a solution for the virus. And we see a lot of genomic sequencing work happening in the region along with biobanks. So cloud services actually supports that in a lot of the genome sequencing and genetic engineering work. So that will be one area that will be having more investments quite in the near immediate future. Health optimization is related to how we can use cloud services to increase the use of resources, to increase the efficiency of delivering health services across the region. Telemedicine, of course, is related to site consultancy by patients and with doctors. Sometimes because of the lockdowns, a lot of the patients cannot travel to the hospitals, but they're in need of doctor support, a lot of medical help. So with video consulting and telemedicine, all these kind of solution sets is going to help a lot of the citizens in need, especially with patients in need. On the right side is actually all related to video. Of course, all of us, if we cannot go to the workplace, we're relying more on the work from home initiatives. There's a lot of the conferencing, a lot of the video streaming is going to be putting a lot more requirements and demands on cloud services to help support that. So whether video streaming is at certain locations, at edge locations, or the way of video processing, the way of delivering video services. There will be definitely a lot more investments looking at optimizing that for the future, especially with 5G on mobile headsets. So that will be an area I see quite a bit of growth. Alongside of that is, of course, is education tech. All of our students in colleges or in schools, that they are relying more from studying from home, and how do they actually be able to learn, maintain their interest in learning while be able to getting the effectiveness of learning is definitely one of those things which will rely a bit more on cloud services to help alongside and not augment the need. Conferences, virtual conferences, more in demand. We still need to have kind of trade protocol and trade conferences and all that, but of course all of them going to virtual. In fact, we're seeing a lot more demands out of the trade conferences area that to how do we increase the effectiveness and also the attention from potential buyers and sellers. So we see some of the related cloud services also come up to support that area too. On the lower left-hand side is related to logistics. Definitely from the food delivery, grocery delivery, supplies and amenities delivery, and at the same time, multi-channel. When we say multi-channel is because due to the whole COVID situation, a lot of the flights are basically grounded. And used to be a lot of the items has to be transported primarily by planes. For example, post is no longer reliable because of the cut of the flights. So there's to be looked at about using multiple mediums of transport in order to basically achieve a delivery from point A to B. So whether it involves shipment, whether it involves land transport, sometimes, outsourcing to other various travel or transportation brokers that requires data exchange in between cloud services. We're also seeing some innovations in that area as well. AI side, of course, with all the data being generated, we're going to get intelligence out of it, and the analysis, the analytics behind it, the automation using AI. We're also seeing language because, again, a lot of the call centers are not staffed up properly because of the COVID situation. How do we use language and also language with accents to try to detect and understand callers if they're going to be answered by the automated systems rather than a live person. NLT, near-linguistic training, and all of that on AI. Definitely a lot more happening in the cloud services area. And alongside these location-based predictions, sometimes it is, because of the COVID situation, maybe it's actually popping up in different parts of town, different parts of neighborhoods. The counts, the locations, the history, all of that is their predictions actually on where to basically disinfect, where to have areas of basically moving people around safely. That's also relying a lot more on the AI side, and we see cloud service providers with their products that's supporting that area as well. In the next slide in here, COVID-19 definitely showed how leaders, whether it's the digital services leaders or actually digital users, how do they use cloud and hybrid architectures to increase their agility and at the same time to adapt quickly to the environment. So you can see in this slide, there's 3 different segments of providers or users. The first one on the left is definitely the users. Is that digital followers needed help is because they now have to, in a lot of the usage of enterprises themselves, try to incorporate new features in order to sustain and continue their business. For example, relying a lot more of the workforce work from home. That means you have to have a good kind of internet and SD-WAN internet kind of connections to basically connect all the employees together and basically continue the business of the enterprise and the corporation. And of course, there's UCaaS, Unified Communications. That means people try to communicate with each other using different mediums along with cloud access. So from that standpoint, we can see the users, they have to, when they think about architecting for the future, architecting with cloud, they have to try to launch these new digital services globally alongside so that the corporation itself be able to sustain and be able to continue on to to offer services with their employees and meet their customers. So definitely the digital followers needed a lot of help, and cloud providers are trying to serve that need too. Now in the middle there's a digital provider, which basically it's, if you are a cloud service provider, you try to think about ways to distribute more of the services across more points. And also when there's a need of capacity increase and also for upgrades, you have to think about that too, is because now there's going to be a lot more different potentials that you have not realized before, but now you're going to be able to go meet about that surge of the demand for cloud. And whether you're cloud or other hybrid cloud kind of providers, then you have to think about scaling with agility. So you can see in some of the examples shown in the middle part in there is related to bandwidth. Of course, there's 5G parts, talking about capacity, cloud capacity, whether you actually be able to serve with the surge of demand, whether you have the capacity to help scale up immediately, and also different kinds of streaming that we've seen, whether if you're serving video, if you're a video provider, whether you're serving with the right video conferencing capacity and capability with no time lag, with low latency, and then whether you'll be able to distribute your resources across different regions so that you can get the effect of distribution. So that's also something that we see from digital providers looking more using hybrid and cloud architectures to support. Now, if you're already a very, very strong digital leader, this is also the time to widen the gap. And when you're thinking about leveraging more on the capability of scaling up and also trying to look into increasing the digital experiences of your customers, then think about how you actually multiply your business value by now leapfrogging even more, by investing more into the right capability in cloud and hybrid cloud. Some examples that we've seen is if you're doing some of the video streaming things, that suddenly content is now becoming more online. And we also see the videos coming from 4K up to 8K. So resolution-wise, it's almost double. And then we also see a lot more AI as a service for analytics and analyses. And also the payment gateways also increasing the capability because people more online to do their commerce while people are locked down during COVID. So I think in general, if you look at this slide, whether you are an enterprise of using of the technologies or provide serving different kinds of enterprise users, or whether you're already a digital leader, you're already in your space, whether you're a very big corporate customer or a big corporate provider, it's actually time to actually look more closer into using cloud and new cloud technologies along with hybrid architectures. Sometimes we see hybrid architectures is because you're complementing both the benefits of cloud and some of it is on-premise infrastructure. So we see actually these are good complements of each other, especially when they look into edge environments. There's increasingly look at how edge computing can also complement cloud. This is a classic example of hybrid architecture. Now, we're in the association called Asia Cloud Computing Association. We are always, in every 2 years, we do a readiness index. So this is actually an opportunity to showcase a little bit of some of the work that we've done in Asia Cloud Computing Association. We published this Cloud Readiness Index pretty much to compare the different countries in the region, how they are cloud ready. And I think this is a good opportunity to showcase to all of you that what we have seen in the region as far as cloud penetration and cloud usage. Now, in this slide, actually we have seen 3 observations for this year. In general, the cloud readiness in the region is actually advancing, but unfortunately, the pace is stalling. It's probably because of COVID, and a lot of the decisions related to technology and infrastructure investment is being stalled a bit. Now, this is understandable, but once we understand it, and once we actually acknowledge it, I think it's actually an opportunity for all of us in the region to look at how we can actually try to recover as much as possible, right? The second point is that we see the digital divide is narrowed, and then but although we see some of the core capabilities such as managing risks, privacy, cybersecurity, that it remains a little bit fragile. Okay, I think it's also a time for us to see that once we actually ride a little bit more out of COVID, that there has to be a little bit more of the regional collaboration and also regional cooperation and standardization, so that we can see that the whole region can come up more vibrant as far as data sets, data sharing, and also the cloud penetration as a whole. Now, I think, all of us are dealing with COVID at this point, but I think, we have to think about how we actually ride out stronger after the storm. So there's some leapfrog technologies such as AI and IoT and 5G, which, of course, we have seen pre-epidemic is already in focus, but it's just we are losing out a little bit of the momentum. But we have to acknowledge that we have to, when circumstances arise, try to leapfrog again by looking a little bit more deeper into these technologies like AI, because again, this will help us as new values to come out of the storm. Now, when we do the Cloud Readiness Index, there's 10 parameters that we rate, and I'm listing all these 10 parameters in here. International connectivity, broadband quality, power grid, green policy sustainability, and all these others also listed in here. We usually, rate these according to these parameters and try to give a comparison for a lot of the regional policymakers and users alike to see where is actually the places which is conducive to leveraging and building and using more cloud. And in this slide in here, this is actually the 2020 CRI, Cloud Readiness Index. And you can see some very interesting points of movement in here. And for this year, Hong Kong, Singapore, New Zealand, Taiwan, South Korea is rated on the top 5. There are some movements in different parts of the top 5. Some of it actually rise one rank, some of it actually drop one rank. But we can see the top 5 markets is actually still pretty vibrant in the region. And you can see compared to top 5 and also the non-APEC economies and below, I think in general, Asia is doing pretty well pervasively. And I hope that a lot more of the use cases in cloud, a lot of the comfort level of using cloud, and then a lot of the cloud service providers try to amplify the benefits and a lot of the use cases to showcase to the community will be very conducive to help a lot of the users and providers alike to be a little bit more comfortable with different models of cloud, whether it's using public cloud or a combination of hybrid cloud or even building private clouds. Okay, but I think in general our region is doing pretty well, and I applaud Korea also part of the top 5 as well in our survey for this year. So I'm going to end a little bit summary for my presentation. In general, I see cloud models will be more pivotal to continuity and sustainability. Cloud models, again, not just only it is a OpEx kind of a model, but the thing is it actually gives you the scalability and agility and flexibility. So when we are in the pivotal times like now where we are in, we have learned that a lot of the cloud models actually is helping economies to sustain while we're in a pandemic situation. So we're going to see much more innovation during and actually now after the pandemic. You're going to see a lot more agility related kind of products that comes out, which is beneficial to cloud. Now, digital commerce will continue to expand with cloud. We've seen it, we're seeing it more, and actually is now talking about digital footprints everywhere. So commerce footprints will also be increasingly more on digital. So, and the relationship between digital commerce and cloud will just become stronger and stronger. And for 5G applications, whether it's related to public 5G or private spectrum, depending on each of the country's regulatory situations, we'll see there will be unique 5G applications emerge in 2021. I think that the 5G side is not just only on the capacity and capability and the driving a lot more bandwidth, it will be also related to a lot more IoT usage that will be unique for 5G and along with IoT and AI alongside. I think edge computing will also be pretty much synergistic to the 5G rollout, and they will see a lot more look into how edge, especially with things which move around, mobile devices, connected vehicles, autonomous vehicles, video applications, video surveillance and monitoring, all related to 5G kind of applications will emerge along with cloud innovativeness for 2021 and going forward. Now, this is actually a nice quote from Microsoft's CEO, and I actually echo that a lot. It's saying that COVID-19 impacted every aspect of our work and life. And in 2 years' work of digital transformation, we've seen it in 2 months. So a lot of the digital transformation work that we've done before, the benefits, the usage, and the urge of actually rolling out digital is all felt in a few months' time. So all that preparation we've done, and those companies actually have embraced digital transformation with cloud or with hybrid clouds, is really seeing the benefit these days. So I think it's actually a good learning lesson that, going digital and remaining agile and competitive with digital is going to be very key to growth and survival. And again, I'm going to end with this note is a good digital strategy involving some cloud components. It's going to be critical for survival. And also, when we get out of this, will be for growth as well. I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. I hope you find this intriguing and probably can learn something out of this. And I look forward to meeting all of you when we're past the pandemic, and we're going to be able to learn and look back what we have learned, and we can look forward in the future, much more vibrant future with cloud and in Asia Pacific. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. I would like to thank on behalf of all the participants here in Korea. The next keynote speaker is the Secretary General of Association Cloud Computing Indonesia, Mr. Funky Christian. Mr. Christian will share his insights on post-COVID-19 prospects and implication of SaaS, cloud computing, and SaaS industry in Indonesia. And it's been pre-recorded as well, so here it is to you.
Hello everyone, I hope you all in a good condition. It's a honor for me to sharing our insight. Let me introduce myself. My name is Funky Christian, the Secretary General of ACCI. I am representing our Chairman Alex Budianto, the Chairman of the Indonesia Cloud Computing Association, that has another urgent agenda. So I will replace the Chairman to sharing the material. We will talk about the cloud computing and SaaS industry in Indonesia. Our association background started in 23 April 2012. We started as a community of Indonesia cloud computing. At the time, we created the community as a way to share knowledge about the cloud computing. And in June 14, 2017, we transformed into association with the name of Indonesia Asosiasi Cloud Computing Indonesia, or in English, Indonesia Cloud Computing Association. Our stakeholders are from these three components. We call it academic or education, governments and business, or industry itself. We combine the efforts together and become our logo of the association that consists these three components. As you can see, we work with the government from Wantiknas, Kominfo, and Ministry of ICT, Bekraf, now becoming Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, Ministry of Industry, National Cyber and Crypto Agency, or BSSN. With education, academic, we work with many, including the Association Apticom, and direct to some universities, such as Universities of Al-Azhar Indonesia, University Gajah Mada, and so on. On the right side, you can see most of our members' logos. We are locals and global cloud providers. And below is education agency that has been appointed and accredited by the governments, including global players like EC Council. Cloud is the strategy. Although businesses in Indonesia are eager to embrace the cloud, foundational gaps have slowed adoption and reduced the overall business value. Weak alignment between business and IT, talent gaps, and ill-defined processes are among the barriers hindering cloud-based innovation and growth in Indonesia, as shown in the BCG Boston Consulting Group survey results. The COVID-19 pandemic will make it more urgent for business leaders in Indonesia to increase the rate of cloud adoption as companies shift more workers to virtual environments and employ end-user computing. Many are rushing to roll out essential collaboration tools, while cost saving has been a traditional driver of cloud adoption. A large majority of survey respondents in Indonesia said that they are pursuing the cloud as the way to proper growth. More than 70% of the executive survey indicates that they believe the cloud will help them innovate faster and lower implementation and operational risk. Businesses have increased their cloud spending from 3% of their IT budget to 5%. Spending on the public cloud and related services is growing compound annual rate 25%. By 2023, cloud spending is expected to make up 10% of the average IT budgets. A BCG study found that growth in the public cloud could contribute the total economic impacts of more than 400 billion US dollar across 6 major markets in Asia Pacific. You can see only 20% of respondents have migrated a majority of their application to the cloud, and less than 20% of the business application are cloud ready. The slow adoption is diluting returns and forcing businesses to maintain on-premise legacy infrastructures in order to run their operation. And more than 75% of the respondents said the weak alignment between business and IT is the major barrier to scaling the cloud. Few organizations outside the financial services and industrial goods industries have adopted their monitoring, procurement, and risk practices to the cloud. The government said that the cloud computing is the new normal for everyone. Even many organizations still struggle to optimize this powerful cloud, and Gartner estimated 75% of the organization already put the cloud-first strategy to use cloud services. I think you also get this from the Asia Cloud Computing Association. They prepared the Cloud Readiness Index 2020. Our score 55 and ranking 12. They review based on the international connectivity, broadband connectivity, data center risk, cybersecurity, privacy governance regulation, environment, intellectual property protection, business sophistication, and freedom of information. As you can see, Indonesia continue to prioritize initiatives that improve the fundamentals to drive cloud adoption, including the infrastructures, connectivity, and security. We also see that Indonesia must ensure the forthcoming laws effectively create a conducive environment for data-driven organization. And Indonesia must continue to drive cross-government coordination to ensure laws and regulations are comprehensive, coherent, and conducive. We also see the report from the McAfee that show of the cloud adoption and how much cloud services has been used. You can see the 20.9% related to the file sharing and collaboration, 7.5% related to the finance, 7.1% related to the IT services, 7.1% also related to the cloud infrastructures. We also see the cloud in development use 6.5% and 5.3% of the business intelligence. And one of the most interesting also happened in Indonesia now is the use cloud SR application around 6.3%. During the pandemic, most of the people stay at home, including their children, and they must use the cloud application. I believe the numbers will be more than 5.7%. We also some demands in the healthcare application. it should be more than 3.2%. The SaaS wave in Indonesia. Software as service businesses has been growing rapidly in Indonesia in the past few years. The market size of the Indonesia SaaS businesses is estimated 100 million US dollar in 2018, according to the research of the Boston Consulting Group. This market is expected to enjoy rapid growth of the annualized rate of 31.9% of the following 5 years to reach 400 million US dollars in 2023. The rapid growth of the SaaS businesses in Indonesia is phenomenon. Indonesia businesses are usually heavily reliant on labor to complete operation tasks ranging from accounting, payroll, sales, processing to manual data entry and manipulation. Low labor costs prove to be deterrent for businesses to transition into the more efficient and digitalized way of doing things. 2014 study also show that the resistance towards SaaS adoption is mainly due to poor IT infrastructures, a lack of understanding how the value SaaS product bring, a lack of opportunity to trial and experiment with the SaaS product, and compatibility issue with the legacy solution. The dramatic changes in customer behavior answered by the affordability of the mobile devices and internet penetration have underlined the importance of the digital transformation among businesses. Coupled with the new awareness, SaaS products are more accessible in Indonesia now due to the following reason. Number one is the internet penetration rate in Indonesia almost doubled from 34.9% in 2014 to 64.8% in 2018 as businesses gain better internet access. Cloud solutions such as SaaS products become available and operate more reliably. The continued growth of the Indonesia internet infrastructures will continue to drive the growth of the SaaS solution in the country. In Indonesia, we have the fiber optic networks around Indonesia. We call it the Palapa Ring networks. Compared to the traditional on-site solution, the cloud options are often cheaper, have shortened time to deployment, and can be scaled quickly. At the same time, modern cloud solutions do not require significant upfront investment, and open ecosystem solution reduce the compatibility issues. As a result, the level of the cloud services adoption in Indonesia has been increasing, driving a complementary growth of the SaaS products. SME in Indonesia, or we call it UMKM, that are going digital prefer to spend on cloud services rather than building their own infrastructures. The availability of the cost-effective solution makes it possible for SME who are usually cash-strapped to avoid the need to develop their own solution or recruit the in-house resources to complete basic tasks that can be completed with digital tools. With the Indonesian government championing digital transformation for the SMEs, this segment is going to continue driving demand for SaaS solution. According to the survey by the Indonesian Cloud and Mars, only 3% of the Indonesian understood the capability of SaaS in 2012. The prevalence of digital tools for mass consumer make it easier for businesses to realize the potential of digital solution for businesses uses as well, lowering inertia toward change. At the same time, early SaaS movers has invested heavily in awareness building and education, paving the way the new players to sell into businesses that are already open towards to the potential technology. Indonesia software spending is estimated to grow by 33% to reach the 900 million US dollar. As organizations are putting aside bigger budget for the software spending, SaaS players are expected to continue growing on the back of this. Indonesia is ranked 30th across 40 countries in Asia Pacific on its digital maturity measures. The B2B business-to-business SaaS product have a large captive audience in Indonesia. Today, Indonesia has more than 65 million businesses scattered across the archipelago, growing at 2% year over year. With relatively low digitalization levels, there are huge opportunity for early players to gain footholds and build their moats amongst local businesses. While Indonesia has more than 65 million registered businesses, and close to 99% of the businesses are the micro businesses. This segment is predominantly comprised of players from food and beverage, fashion, the arts, and craft sectors. Micro businesses generate less than 21,000 US dollar in revenue annually. While this segment may seem like the unlikely users of the SaaS product, in the recent years of the SaaS player has specifically focused on this customer segment with their offering. You can see the companies like Mocha, Hello Bill, Warung Pintar that targeted the micro and small and medium enterprises with their modern but cost-effective digital retail solution. Small and medium businesses represent less than 1.4% of the all businesses in Indonesia. Despite this, the small portion, this segment makes up almost 1 million businesses entities in Indonesia and is also prime target of the SaaS products, especially because penetration amongst these players are still relatively small. Large businesses are the ones with the largest IT budgets and are also most open towards new technologies. In 2018, 88% of the startup in Indonesia had workforce size of fewer than 50 employees. Although most of the startup in Indonesia classified as a small businesses, the cloud adoption or the cloud technology adoption rate in this segment expected to hit 40% by 2022. To desire the adopt cloud technology by this segment is driven by the need to have the solution that have short implementation timeline and are cost effective. High level of digital awareness within the segment also make it likelier to implement the digital solution rather than manual solution to complete their businesses. As you can see in March 2019, we indicate 2,074 startups. We are the 5th country that produce a startup in the world. As you can see, the vertical startup sector that received the funding since 2016. Yeah, you can see the e-commerce, finance, fintech, professional services. As startup who received the funding. The 3 largest growth industry for digital solution in Indonesia are the financial services industry, wholesale and retail trade industry, and logistic industries. One of the reasons for this industry to be leading in Indonesia digital transformation is due to the competitive nature of these industries and the significant disruption that faces by these players. 2 other noteworthy sectors with relatively high IT spend per GDP contribution are education and healthcare sectors. As these industries interact directly with end customer, they also facing increasing pressure to innovate their services and offerings. The Indonesian Health National Insurance (BPJS), for instance, has adopted cloud solution to deliver better healthcare services to the population. Given Indonesia's demands for better healthcare and education is increasing, this sector has been aggressively in digitizing their operation and services, evident in estimate IT spending $200 million US dollars. A survey by the Telkom Telstra captured currently leverage document processing tools, which conferencing and project management tools take a distant and third position at 58% and 25% adoption among respondents. Yeah. SME customer need the basic solution, based on the refinery analysis of 72 Indonesian SaaS players, point out that the point of sales solution make up the largest segment of the SaaS product, followed by the human resource management solution and e-commerce solution. The growth of the POS segment in Indonesia, unsurprisingly given the country's large wholesale and retail trade sector, which are dominated by the micro, small, and medium businesses. Given the increasing competitiveness in retail trade, retailers are looking for every competitive advantage they can get to lower costs, obtaining key insights about their customer, and create a great retail experience. This prompts the growth of the companies like Warung Pintar, Moka, and Hello Bill. The general workflow management solutions such as human resource management software, accounting software could also generate significant growth using SaaS model, as they are able to offer low subscription costs to their target audience while focusing on development need solution. The SaaS adoption in Indonesia, businesses with more than 50 employees, segmentation of the SaaS player by solution type, The e-commerce solution, on the other hand, are mainly riding the wave of the Indonesia increasing mobile native shopper. Vendors that leverage e-commerce channels are adept at using the customer and now interested to digitize other aspects of their business, from other fulfillment to invoicing. SaaS players that are able to provide easy-to-use solution at the affordable prices will be at the piggyback on the e-commerce business growth in the next 5 years. Several SaaS players are offering bundled products and services together with their software solution. E-commerce enablers such as Circlo bundle their e-commerce platform with the end-to-end such as inventory management, fulfillment, and marketing services. Point of sale such as Hello Bill, Moka, iRip package their software with the hardware such as invoice printer, kitchen display, cash registers. Some startup went as far as absorbing the hardware costs, offering free hardware on the long-term subscription. ZPOS, for example, provide customer on annual contract with a free cash register. A likely explanation of success of bundling model of this customer perceive value of the solution significantly. The key challenges in the SaaS industry, Number one is the poor awareness level. The level of the awareness of the SaaS product in Indonesia is very low, among Indonesians. Players in these industries may find it challenging to introduce their solution without investing significant amount of time educating, informing their potential clients. Poor awareness toward digital solution is also partially attributed to the low digital literacy amongst Indonesia. This is directly related to the low portion of the Indonesian with a tertiary education. Resistance to change of the SaaS adoption requires the fundamental shift in the way of the technology decision and investment are made in Indonesian businesses, such as sunk cost mentality, change management, shift in cost allocation. Another challenge is no access to the credit card payment. Low credit card ownership levels amongst Indonesians pose to be the critical challenge to the SaaS players to collect payments. The next is pricing budget mismatch. Data from Indonesia Financial Services Authority (OJK) suggests the large portion of the SME in Indonesia is having difficulty in securing funds to their businesses and the lack of the cash on hand might discourage SME invest in technology. This is substantiated by the week of IT spending amongst SME is around $860 per year. You can see the opportunities in the Indonesian SaaS market. Number one is awareness building and education are the key of helping businesses and individuals realize the potential of the digital solution. Early SaaS players have been active in bringing their client apps to speed with that their technology can offer. This help early brands establish themselves and thought and market leaders in the vertical they specialize in, building credibility and driving sales for their products. SaaS players that are looking to expand quickly need reliable distribution channel and operational infrastructure to raise brand awareness and also facilitate the delivery of the product. The partnerships opens up new distribution and payment channel is needed. Telecommunication provider are the natural fit as a partner for the SaaS player as they have the customer relationship, delivery infrastructures, and operational presence across Indonesia. Focus on the many, while the large businesses tend to be a lot more open and sophisticated with new technologies, Indonesia's unique business landscape highlights a huge untapped opportunity amongst the micro businesses and SME segments. As most SaaS solutions are scalable beyond geographics and market, many of the large businesses' needs is easily served by global players such as Salesforce, SAP, and Google. However, the same solution cannot be easily implemented with the micro business and SME segment that as these customers have relatively rudimentary business processes, limited budget, and lower digital literacy level compared to the large businesses segments. These are some of the association activities with the government. This is the Ministry of Industry. We are supporting association for the Making Indonesia 4.0, an Industry 4.0 initiative program from the government. You can see some educational videos on YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, that created for public. And we also intelligence activities this year, including computing as the backbone for Industry 4.0 and also the cybersecurity. So this is the conclusion. The cloud is the strategy. Indonesia see that too. The SaaS business and delivery model are still new to the Indonesia customer. The SaaS industry is set to experience strong growth in the back of the increasing adoption of the cloud solution and increasing IT spending. In the years towards 2023, the industry expected to grow at the more than 30% annually, reaching 400 million by 2023. The SaaS spending is still relatively low compared to the software spending in Indonesia. It is estimated that by 2020, SaaS spending will represent around 14.71% of the total software spending, indicating a relatively low adoption level in the market. As a result, the opportunities for new SaaS players to enter the market and grow their business in Indonesia remain up for grabs. While the industry is facing initial resistance, many SaaS players have been able to innovate their business model to elevate customer concern. The early SaaS player invested efforts educating and familiarizing their target customer with their solution, as establishing themselves as thought and market leaders in the industry. Innovative monetization models through product bundling and forming exclusive distribution rights help sidestep customer reluctance towards recurring charges on software only. And also, you must note that the partnership with a larger organization to expedite product delivery, collect payments, and achieve national reach is the key to gain early success and accelerate growth. And AICCI is educating and pushing more cloud adoption in Indonesia, including in SaaS sector. That's what I can share by today. I hope you get the benefit from the materials. Thank you. Terima kasih. See you.
Thank you very much. Again, that was Mr. Frankie Christian, the Secretary General of ACCI. Just wanting to point out that during the slide, he mentioned that more and more of the small businesses and micro businesses are going digital. And that is not just only in Indonesia, it's all same here in Korea as well. And that is exactly why we're here today. We are here to help you to go in digital, not only digital, but also going global, and connect with prospective partners in different countries. So grab your opportunities. And last but not least, we have Dr. Wing Woo-Hoon Kwong, the Vice President of Global Affairs, FTP Corporation. And our last keynote is prepared by our representative in Vietnam, so we're bringing it to you live from Hanoi.
Tiếp theo là bài phát biểu của ông Nguyễn Hữu Hùng Cường, Phó Tổng Giám đốc Khối Kinh doanh Toàn cầu Tập đoàn SME.
Okay, first of all, thank you very much. It's my great pleasure to have the privilege to be here today. So my name is Cường. I'm responsible for the global affairs in FTP Corporation, and I was asked to share with you a few ideas and how the cloud and digital transformation is presented in Vietnam and how we are dealing with it within the COVID time and post-COVID time. So I will touch a few things because all the speakers already mentioned about the cloud computing. So I will mention more about the Vietnam IT landscape, what we have in hands, and where we are heading to, of course, and how it was accelerated by COVID-19. And of course, I will share with you a few case studies how FPT is having a role in the area of the digital transformation. So first of all, I use few of the researchers and advisors. So I will take few things. The World Bank is putting Vietnam among the fastest growing economy globally. World Economic Forum is considering Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi as the top 10 fastest growing cities in the world. And of course, from the Gartner perspective, Vietnam is considered as a tier 1 emerging offshore outsourcing location in the Asia Pacific. So those are the few things that others speaking about Vietnam. And what we have in Vietnam is few areas that I would like to mention. Number one is the workforce. So we have 96 million population in Vietnam, amongst which we have nearly 1 million ICT engineers. So for your comparison, it could be compared with Japan, where Japan has around 1.3 million ICT employees. But Vietnam has close to that number. Median age is 32 years old, which means that we have a very high digital adaptability community and population in Vietnam. Number two is that we have the internet penetration covers 66% already. So in comparison with very developed countries, we are far, far away from that. So from the economy and politics, of course, we are considered as the country to be very attractive to invest in. And the peace index is also showing that in comparison with the traditional big countries, Vietnam has enjoying a really good position. So I see here that also one of the speakers already used this table, but I would like to show here and use this to illustrate the current position of Vietnam in the cloud services. So as you see in the table, Vietnam is still as number 14 for the cloud computing readiness, which shows few things. Number one is that the 64% is the growth between 2010 and 2016 for the IT spending. But for the 2019 and 2024, we are expecting to have the growth around 10% and reaching around 300 million. This is for the whole cloud. But if you are considering the SaaS SaaS is growing more than 30% every year. So showing here is the picture that where we are right now, but how we are able to accelerate very quickly in comparison with other countries that they have already they are already in some positions. Of course, everybody knows and everybody talks about the COVID and how it impacts us as an enterprises, as the people. So I will show you a few challenges that the companies are facing right now. Number one is that Vietnam is highly impacted by the new way of the work. So if you are mentioning about the work from home or the remote working is a big challenge for employees and employers. So there is 31% is the productivity loss. Where we see also the demand is 37%. They are expecting to have, or they are already facing the lower demand. The feature number three is that 80%, 85% of the enterprises that expect to have the profit or the revenue decrease, which is a significant number for the Vietnamese enterprises. And of course, nearly close to 100% they are facing with the supply chain disruption. So those are the four major challenges that the companies are facing with. But I will show you what we have as the opportunity out of that. So the number one is you see the customers go digital. So this is showing you the number is that in 2019 we have 47% of the growth. In 2020 we are having 61%. So you see that the majority of the people right now, around 70% people are somehow online. You can find them somewhere on the mobile app or somewhere on the e-commerce or online. So those are the significant numbers that you can see that, of course, the backbone for this is the cloud and infrastructure needs to be ready, right? So number two is the mobile app users. You see also the significant growth here from the 47%, for the 47% up to 60%. And we are still expecting to have this number to be higher. And I touch also the area of the food. So food is one of the, Vietnam is one of the countries very popular for the food, right? So, but now we are seeing also the food is coming online. So the people and the users and the consumers are now facing also with the lockdown, with the social distancing. So we see the big increase of the using the apps, using the online platforms to order even the food as a daily consumers. And 47, nearly 50% of the Vietnamese companies will go digital, and they will use the digital platforms. And this is also all the numbers that shows that the cloud area in Vietnam, SaaS area in Vietnam, and also infrastructure will be one of the key and one of the growth area in the upcoming years. But I was talking about the private bit, but I will talk a little bit about also the public, how the government is facing this topic and issue. The number one is that I took the privilege to use to quote the Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Budukdam, recently in the Digital World event. And he mentioned very clearly, digital transformation has become the irreversible trend, which is not possible to come back. So we will come to the new normal. And how the government will address. So we have the three major pillars where we very clearly put into the national digital transformation roadmap up to until 2025. Number one is the e-government. So our target, or the government's target, is to digitize all the public services. Number two is the e-economy. Currently, we are having around 4% contributing to the GDP, and we are expecting to have 30% in 2030, which is significant growth. And from the society perspective, I mentioned that 66% is the internet penetration, but the target is to reach 100% in 2030. So the very big challenge, the very big the topics. And here I would like to show you afterwards how FPT is taking a role, how we can contribute to that roadmap, to the landscape that we have here. So the number one is that FPT is one of the founding members of the National Digital Transformation Alliance. So that is one of our commitment to the government, that we will also contribute to this program. We are very pleased that we have two products that was already announced as one of the key tools for the digital transformation. One for the RPA, that we have here as a few products made in Vietnam, and one for the blockchain as a loyalty system, a loyalty platform. Because here I can share with you that in Vietnam, if you are talking about the consumers offline, they are quite loyal. But if you are talking about the consumers online, we are not talking about the loyalty there. So majority of the users, they will try all the new apps. If the new apps will come, if the new service will come, they will try it. So loyalty is very important part. And we are also committed to develop the digital talents. We committed already 50,000 digital experts for Vietnam and requirements. We are going to develop FPT AI University, which will be one of the very first universities to having the AI as the core subject in the whole curriculum. And to doing that, we signed a partnership with the Mila, which is the leading AI model, and is led by Professor Joshua Benjo, who is one of the guru of the machine deep learning in the world. So here, how we are able to do that is that I will show you a few features and figures about FPT. Majority of you already knows that FPT is enjoying more than 30 years of having the presenter on the market. Currently having more than 36,000 people, and amongst which 50% of them are IT engineers. Where we are presented and how we can contribute to that program and to that journey that Vietnam is going to enjoy is number one in the technology area. We are one of the key outsourcing players in Vietnam and still considered as number one on the market. The number two is that also we are having a presence in the telecommunication. So the telecommunication providing also the services in telco and also data center, which is one of the key for the cloud growth. And for the education here, I touched that already. We are number one Vietnam's private university, and currently we have more than 50,000 students and pupils in all the levels. So that is the kind of the backbones that how we can contribute to the topics that I mentioned before. So showing you here is I would like to share a few success stories, because we talk about the growth, we talk about the numbers, and talk about some research, but we already is very privileged that we somehow joined the journey with a few of our partners to show you how we transform few of the very traditional services. So the number one is that we work closely with the second biggest consumer lending company in Vietnam. I'm not able to reveal the name here, but few figures I can show you is number one is that they are handling around 12 million customers. And what they expect is they were trying to cut down the costs because of the COVID, because of the changing and upskilling the people. So they haven't got enough people and customer service agents to serve that number of the customers. And how they can serve them 24/7 and how they can serve them very quickly and get all the feedbacks that they can improve the services. So we merged and we did the virtual agent for call center applying AI. So what is the solution? That all the outbound calls were done by a robot. But that robot is a very human-like conversation. So I think that once you will be one of the customers of that company, I think that you will enjoy, if your number is in the middle part of Vietnam, they will use the middle accent, middle part, the central Vietnam accent. If you are from Ho Chi Minh, they will use the north accent. So very human-like conversation, providing you with all the analytics, whether the consumer, the customer is angry, whether they are satisfied, whether they are able to get other products, upsell to the current customers. So what is the result after a few months of application of the really technology application in the real world? So we improved the productivity by 40%. I mentioned in my first slide is that productivity, 31% of the companies, they are facing with the productivity problems. And here we solve it by using technology backed by the clouds, local clouds in Vietnam. And the robot handle 30,000 calls per month. And of course, we reduce the cost or the operation cost, the expense, to 50%. So those are the quite significant numbers that you can see that how the digital transformation, how the cloud as the infrastructure, as the backbone, could help the local enterprises. So that was the case study from Vietnam. That I will show you. The next case study is for the more regional perspective, of course, or they have the presence in Vietnam. So here the customer is the top one ride-hailing company in Southeast Asia. They are having around 2.8 million driving partners, so drivers across the world, and they were facing with a few problems. Number one is onboarding the new driver. It takes a lot of time to get the ID card, to get the driving license somehow digitally. They were not able to do it in time, so the time for onboarding was quite long. So here we again use the regional cloud provider to develop the new application by using AI to solve this problem. So how we solved that and what was the result? So the productivity increased by 60%. Data errors previously done by human, done by people, we reduced it by 10%. And if you talk about 5 minutes before for the onboarding, now you are talking about one second for one photo, meaning that you need to put the 2 photos and you are onboarded as a driver. So 2 seconds in compared with the 5 minutes before. And the accuracy is 95%, which means that we covered nearly the whole picture, but for the multiple languages. So we start with the Vietnamese. It was easy for the AI and for the machine learning. But when we come to the Indonesia, Thailand, it was quite the trouble for the AI. So we trained the AI to be very high precise to get the really good outcome as expected. So here is along my story that I shared with you is that it's more from coming from the private view and as a company, as a provider, service provider in Vietnam and globally. So having the presence in the 25 countries right now, we are having a lot of experience. And we are bringing back to Vietnam and we are seeing the significant interest and significant pressure for the Vietnamese enterprises to move to the cloud and to do the digital transformation. So here, beside of this, I will share with you a few stories in Vietnam and with the Vietnamese enterprises. You might know Vietnam is the country that is growing very fast, one of the fastest growing economy in the Southeast Asia, and we will be one of the countries to have a positive GDP in the next year. Showing that is that we have the few kings in Vietnam. We call them kings. Number one is that we are having the company is number one in the shrimp exporter, shrimp farms. And nobody knows about the company, but they're enjoying the top position in the world. So we are working closely with the king of shrimp in Vietnam, and they are very much interested to do the digital transformation using the cloud and putting the cloud as a cloud-first strategy. That is very, very interesting to see the very traditional companies moving to digital. Number one is that we are the number 2 coffee exporter in the world after Brazil. But everybody knows about the Italian coffee, everybody knows about the Africa, but very little number talk about Vietnam. And now, because of COVID, because of the digital, Vietnamese companies are able to show themselves on the global scale and global market. And the Kings of Coffee in Vietnam is also very much dedicated to do the digital transformation. Working with the King of Wood is also one of the very interesting stories. King of Wood or wood industry is a really traditional industry. But now they are trying to apply the new technology. They need to be flexible. They need to use the most cost competitive solutions. And here today we are talking about cloud. So all these things are considered cloud or one of the accelerator. We consider the company as the car and the cloud as the infrastructure and the road. So we need to build the highways for those companies to speed up and to catch up with the market. So I think that that would be my sharing for today. I'm very pleased that I had a chance today to share and also to listen to the speakers from the different markets like Indonesia and Singapore and Korea. We have representatives from those countries, and I think that we are facing very similar challenges, and we will also enjoy very similar opportunities. So I do believe that today's startups and companies from Korea will find also the way to enter and to find the right partners in the different markets and bring the new technology to the users. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ring. We will now conclude the Cape Cloud Online Summit, but we will continue with the online business meeting after lunch. So we kindly ask you to stay and join us for the business meeting as well. And before I let you go, I have a quick announcement. For the participants of the conference and the business meetings, we have prepared a raffle for an iPad. So check out our website tomorrow to see if you have won an iPad. And more winners will be announced on our website on Friday, that is this Friday, the 20th. For everyone joining our webinars in Korea, a mobile coffee voucher will be sent. Throughout the lunch, promotional videos of 16 cloud service companies from Korea will be streamed. If you find any companies interesting, which I really hope so, and if you would like to meet with them, sit down and talk about your product, talk about your companies, you can have a meeting today right after lunch. Please refer to one of the staff members at your local venue. The business meeting will start at 3 p.m. in Korea, and that is 1 o'clock in Vietnam and Indonesia local time. And that's all I have for today. This was your host, Hagan Kim from Naver Cloud. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
네, 안녕하세요. 저 요즘아그로코리아 오민주입니다. 오늘 참여해주셔서 진심으로 감사드립니다. 저희 오늘 3시, 한국 시간 3시부터 그 이제 미팅이 있으신데요. 저희 인도네시아랑 베트남이 오늘 그 현장 등록하시는 바이어분들이 좀 많으시다고 합니다. 그래서 오늘 그 온라인 말고 이제 저희 뒤에 있는 현장 부스에서 좀 참여를 해주시면은 좀 더 이제 그쪽에서 현장에서 등록하신 분들이 많이 들어오실 수 있을 것 같아요. 그래서 최대한 이제 현장 부스를 활용해 주시고요. 그게 여의치 않으신 분들께서는 저희가 카톡방에다가 실시간으로 현장 그 링크를 안내드리겠습니다. 그래서 오늘은 저희가 안내드린 뭐 로그인을 하실 필요는 없고요. 그 링크된 줌으로만 들어와 주시면 되고, 내일은 저희가 이제 보내드린 그 로그인 계정하고 비밀번호로 들어오셔서 기업분들께서 호스트가 되시면은 이제 그분들 현지 바이어분들이 같이 참여를 하시게 됩니다. 그래서 이제 그 통역사, 현지 바이어, 이제 저희 기업분들 이렇게 세 그룹이 다 들어오시면은 바로 진행이 되는데요. 그래서 오늘 이제 3시부터 진행되는 미팅 지금 1시간 정도 남으셔서 여기서 대기하시다가 이렇게 저희가 호명을 드리면은 베트남 3번 장소로 와주세요 하면 그때 이렇게 들어오시면 됩니다. 네, 혹시 뭐 추가로 궁금한 사항 있으시면 제가 여기 있으니까 언제든지 문의 주시기 바랍니다. 네, 감사합니다.
Ya, oke. Bapak Ibu sekalian, terima kasih atas perhatian.
온라인 상담회가
야,
오늘이 조금
아다피가
일반적인 온라인 상담회보다
disampaikan.
조금 복잡합니다. 그 이유가 요번에 저희가
Ya,
네이버와
pertama
함께 개최한 온라인
dari
상담회는
sekarang sampai jam 1
현장과
siang
라이브로
Bapak Ibu
동영상
sekalian
믹스로
akan
연결을 해서 상담회를
menikmati
진행을 하고
ya makan
있습니다. 그러다 보니
siang.
온라인 상담회
Lalu
같은 경우는
kedua,
저희 홈페이지에
semoga semua peserta sekalian ikut online meeting yang diadakan sore ini. Tadi setelah makan siang, Bapak Ibu yang sudah daftar maupun yang belum daftar bisa langsung dibantu di reception agar ikut serta meeting yang diadakan ya sore hari ini. Itu akan diadakan lewat Zoom ya. Dan ketiga, semua peserta sekalian harus meninggalkan name card sebelum meninggalkan tempat ini. Kartu itu akan kasih kepada Bapak yang ada di Bapak yang sedang duduk di reception. Dan kalau perlu bantuan apa saja untuk ikut serta meeting, ya tolong dibantu oleh pihak saya atau yang Bapak yang ada di belakangnya. Ya, oke, terima kasih.
분야가 매우 중요한데 오늘 조금 시간이 여의치 않으시더라도 웬만하면은 현장 상담에 참석을 하시면은 좀 더 많은 분들을 만나실 수 있는 기회가 되실 것 같습니다. 그리고 18일하고 19일은 저희가 마찬가지로 온라인으로 상담회가 진행이 되지만 기본적으로는 저희가 사전에 공지드린 홈페이지에 줌 미팅과
Iya, selamat siang semuanya, selamat menikmati hidangan yang kami sajikan. Jadi untuk ada sedikit pengumuman, untuk peserta yang belum mendaftar Zoom meeting, nanti bisa ikut Zoom meeting dengan yang sudah ada, list yang sudah ada. Jadi kalau misalnya yang belum ada di list Zoom meeting atau belum mendaftar di website, hari ini tetap bisa ikutan juga. Atau kalau misalnya memang ada perusahaan yang tertarik juga, itu bisa Zoom meeting di tanggal 18 dan tanggal 19 juga nantinya. Gitu. Lalu untuk penukaran kupon nanti setelah Zoom meeting 2 kali kita akan ada penukaran kupon untuk souvenir kita di resepsionisnya. Ya, sekian, terima kasih. Selamat menikmati makanannya.
Hello, my name is J.S. Kang, the CEO of Aizen. We are AI company redesigning digital bank with technology. Let me share in more detail with the slides that I'm sharing from now on. There's a lot of problems in the real world. One is that the AI is transforming every industry, but there is a limited people and technologies that is changing every aspect of the financial institutions. Again, that is a technological problems. And the right-hand side, there's a market problems. The left-hand side, there's a lot of data economies are emerging, especially in the Southeast Asia market. Small size of the e-commerce and big size of the e-commerce players are coming in the market. And e-payment players are like eating up their spaces. And however, they are not able to provide credits to their customers because the traditional banks are not ready to provide the credit to these customers. So there's a lot of gaps. So the digital banks are coming into the market to narrow the gap. So to solve these problems, we have developed the machine learning platform, Abacus, which is recognized in many countries. Based on this automated machine learning platform, Abacus, we can build thousands of models in real time, and we can build applied business applications. Most of the algorithms are communicating each other to build applied businesses. So based on that, we are building automated banking operating system, which is ABUS. So it is like an autonomous driving car, advanced driving assistance system, which enables autonomous driving car. So ABUS, which is automated banking operating system, enables automated the banking system. So we are providing the in the middle sector technology stack, which is a Credit Connect platform that is connecting to the data economy and the right-hand side in the banking sector. The left-hand side, if the data economy plug our systems into their economy, we can provide a lot of the benefits to their customers, like more credit, and based on that more credit, they can sell more products, and they can have extra revenues. And right-hand side in the banking sector, they can enlarge their balance sheets without much efforts. So this is how it looks like. And the automated banking operating system is composed of 4 components. First is a product planning and credit acquisition and portfolio management and collections. With this business applications, the banks can do very easily to new economy. In more detail, this is how it looks like. If we plug our system to the data economy with API, and we analyze everything from the beginning to the end. And with our system, the banks can originate the loans. We have so far raised $12 million from most of the big banks. And then my team is composed of the AI expertise and a banking expertise. And AI technology is very important to enable this kind of business models. To do that, we have in-house the memory optimization and cloud, AI chip, and edge computing and securities. This is embedded in one single technology stacks. So based on that, we are linking the retail banking and capital markets. There's a lot of the people and institutions are looking for embedded in one single. Based on that, we are linking the retail banking and capital markets. There's a lot of the people and institutions are looking for investable assets. With our technology stacks, we are converting the loans originated from the retail banking side to the alternative investable assets, which is going to be a big market in coming years. And we are expanding into most of the Asian countries. The first target countries are Vietnam, Indonesia, and Thailand, and Singapore. And also we are also beginning to providing our stacks, technology stacks to the US market. They have same demand. Our growth is very rapid in recently, so we expect 4 times the growth this year and at least 3 times growth next year. This is the end of the presentation, and I hope that if you are looking for some kind of technology stacks that is enabling to provide the credits to your e-commerce, e-wallet, e-payment players, then come to us. And then as long as we connect our system to your system, then we can provide the credits. And it is very honored to be invited to this event. And then I hope that we can do something in coming months. Thank you very much. Hello, my name is J.S. Kang, the CEO of Aizen. We are an AI company redesigning digital bank with technology. Let me share in more detail with the slides that I'm sharing from now on. There's a lot of problems in the real world. One is that the AI is transforming every industry, but there is a limited people and technologies that is changing every aspect of the financial institutions. Again, that is a technological problems. And the right-hand side, there's a market problems. The left-hand side, there's a lot of data economies are emerging, especially in the Southeast Asia market. Small size of the e-commerce and big size of e-commerce players are coming in the market. And e-payment players are like eating up their spaces. And however, they are not able to provide credits to their customers because the traditional banks are not ready to provide the credit to these customers. So there's a lot of gaps. So the digital banks are coming into the market to narrow the gap. So to solve these problems, we have developed the machine learning platform, Abacus, which is recognized in many countries. Based on this automated machine learning platform, Abacus, we can build thousands of models in real time, and we can build applied business applications. Most of the algorithms are communicating each other to build applied businesses. So based on that, we are building automated banking operating system, which is ABUS. So it is like an autonomous driving car, advanced driving assistance system, which enables autonomous driving car. So ABUS, which is automated banking operating system, enables automated the banking system. So we are providing the in the middle sector technology stack, which is a Credit Connect platform that is connecting to the data economy, and the right-hand side in the banking sector. The left-hand side, if the data economy plug our systems into their economy, we can provide a lot of the benefits to their customers, like more credit, and based on that more credit, they can sell more products, and they can have extra revenues. And the right-hand side in the banking sector, they can enlarge their balance sheets without much efforts. So this is how it looks like. And the automated banking operating system is composed of 4 components. First is a product planning and credit acquisition and portfolio management and collections. And with this business applications, the banks can do very easily to new economy. In more detail, this is how it looks like. If we plug our system to the data economy with the API, and we analyze everything from the beginning to the end. And with our system, the banks can originate the loans. We have so far raised $12 million from most of the big banks. And then my team is composed of the AI expertise and a banking expertise. And AI technology is very important to enable this kind of business models. To do that, we have in-house the memory optimization and cloud, AI chip, and edge computing and securities. This is embedded in one single technology stacks. Based on that, we are linking the retail banking and capital markets. There's a lot of the people and institutions are looking for investable assets. With our technology stacks, we are converting the loans originated from the retail banking side to the alternative investable assets, which is going to be a big market in coming years. And we are expanding into most of the Asian countries. The first target countries are the Vietnam, Indonesia, and Thailand, and Singapore. And also we are also beginning to providing our stacks, technology stacks to the US markets. They have a same demand. Our growth is very rapid recently, so we expect 4 times the growth this year and at least 3 times growth next year. This is the end of the presentation, and I hope that if you are looking for some kind of technology stacks that is enabling to provide the credits to your e-commerce, e-wallet, e-payment players, then come to us. And then as long as we connect our system to your system, then we can provide the credits. And it is very honored to be invited to this event. And then I hope that we can do something in coming months. Thank you very much.
C2 Monster, a video production specialist boasting of its finely tuned experts in various fields. We proudly introduce Wormhole, C2 Monster's pipeline management platform. Wormhole is available for use by various workgroups. It is an ease-of-use pipeline management platform, available for anyone who creates a variety of digital contents. What makes Wormhole appealing? Wormhole allows planners, producers, and more to carry out their respective tasks through the pipeline, from the initial planning of the project to the main production. Wormhole uses an in-house intranet system to take advantage of high-speed and high-definition video content and to facilitate a quick confirmation and decision-making. The world is changing faster than ever, and working in a contactless manner is becoming a new norm for all. If you still stick to the traditional ways of doing things, you are likely to fall behind your competitors. It features an intuitive interface and convenient structure that allows digital content producers to complete their intended work in an effective and efficient manner. Do you have the pipeline solution? We do. Wormhole.
We don't always have the luxury of having our workspace. Meet Adam. The fact that his routines have changed doesn't help. His sleeping patterns have changed. Even the way his boss talks to him has changed. Adam's productivity has fallen off a cliff, and it only gets worse. Phone calls, emails, clients asking for some 3-month-old outdated invoice, no access to files, unresponsive colleagues, wasting time staring at download bar after download bar. Adam needs a solution. And he needs it fast. What about a powerful cloud storage and file sharing platform that allows you to bring your workspace anywhere? Introducing CloudIke. A fast, reliable, and convenient platform that allows you to access your files efficiently and effectively. Access your files from anywhere, anytime, on any device. Step into the digital age with CloudIke.
From now on, I'm presenting about our company. We are DMEDI, measuring your health information through pulse signal. I'm Kwang-Jin Lee, CEO of DMEDI. We developed smartphone sensor-based health monitoring system. I'm proud to introduce you our smartphone sensor-based health monitoring solution. So what kind of health information can we check? Our solutions can just measure your heart rate, blood pressure, stress, and respiratory rate using camera from finger or your face. Especially in the blood pressure case, we also tested our model with hospital. Our cuffless blood pressure algorithm passed the AAMI accuracy test, which means clinically and commercially ready to use. When you use DMEDI solutions, you can easily and accurately measure your various health information only with devices that include camera. We have many other advantages, especially no other additional equipment and sensors are needed. For B2C business, we provide 2 products, Haley and Always BP. Haley is a wellness version application. This service helps reducing stress and lowering blood pressure through the deep breathing exercise. Always BP is our main product. Now we are preparing another clinical trial for medical device approval. One more thing, we also provide APIs or library for applying our health monitoring solutions in various fields. So several companies, developers, and users can easily use our solutions through API. DMEDI solutions has a lot of potential for business expansion, especially it can be provided new opportunity for product development. So now we have successfully expanded our business by partnering with many companies,
hospitals, and research institutes using our API model. And we plan to expand measurable health information. And we will also receive overseas medical device certification. Our team have studied biosignal processing and AI algorithms over 8 years. 3 main members are PhD candidates or PhD in biomedical engineering. We know how to handle biosignal. We know how to develop the AI algorithm using biosignal. So we are the perfect team to develop great solution. So I'm confident that our team will make DMEDI the best healthcare company. Thank you.
If you're looking for a smarter solution for your factory, you're in the right place. Focus on this video, you can find a way to make digital transformation of your factory. Because the conditions of a machine has a huge impact on productivity, many people have no doubt that the machine is one of the valuable assets in the factory. In particular, unexpected breakdown in the machine cause accidents and unnecessary cost. Therefore, through optimal machinery management, maintenance costs can be reduced and manufacturing competitiveness can be improved. For that reason, power plants and large chemical factories are already using monitoring system in their machines and facility by installing sensors. But conventional monitoring system only provide current status of machines. Therefore, the manager or engineer has to analyze a lot of data to find the faults that occur. However, the amount of data generated from one machine with 6 sensors is about 2 million sheets of A4. Therefore, it is impossible for humans to analyze this huge amount of data one by one, so we provide a remarkable solution. Based on 220 billion of big data and using AI technology, finally, we can provide the solution possible to diagnose of the machine's faults automatically. EXRVM, this is software invented for engineer, but easy to use for novice engineer as well. The solution helping engineers make smart decisions, and the engineer can manage their machines easier than ever. This is one of our customer case before using our solutions. They are using global company system only. It's hard to recognize even machine's name. But if you're adding our predictive maintenance solution EXRVM, will give you a better experience like this. With intuitive graphics, engineers can pinpoint the conditions of the machines they are managing. EXRVM evaluates the risk and the conditions of the machines. Moreover, it informs you in 4 levels according to ISO standards. And conventional way to figure the machine's faults, engineers have to analyze and diagnose hundreds of data and graphs, as you can see on the screen, using the analysis software to find out what kind of faults or failure occurred in the machines. And this work causes unaccessible workload on the engineers. However, if you pair the EXRVM in your factory, our automatic filtering technology filters out unnecessary data and leaves only the data for analysis and diagnosis. So finally, you can monitor the machines in real time, and when the abnormal conditions is detected on it, EXRVM quickly warns you with a red light on the screen. Then all you can do is just click on the red light to diagnose. EXRBM one-click diagnosis function provides you can diagnose the machine's faults automatically and very quickly. And we provide root causes of the faults that diagnosis above, and also it provides the proper way to maintenance. At this point, you may be wondering about this. The machine has a different capacity and are very diverse installation conditions. How can the solution be applied to old machines? In fact, it is better to say that the machines itself is combined with various machines parts than to say that the machine is diverse. Extruder, common machine in chemical plants, for example, are consisting of motor, gearbox, shaft, screw, and dryers. Likewise, we have big data divided into parts that make up each machine. It can be applied to various machines. The reason we were able to collect such a big data is because we have the data accumulated by diagnosing more than 290 machines and facilities over 35 years, starting as an engineering company. In addition, as a result of conducting tests on 300 machines and facilities for 3 years, we achieved 98% of diagnostic accuracy and obtained certification. In addition, it is possible to grasp real-time machine and facility information by linking wirelessly with the predictive maintenance solution EXRBM. From here, you can immediately diagnose and check the machine's abnormal conditions or failure, and also you can see the major machines through the 3D modeling. Engineer can repair machines more properly by checking the list of spare parts, drawing, maintenance, and training video. Manufacturers already use our proven solutions EXRBM. We are a professional engineering and IT company that lead the smart factory of tomorrow. As a factory of the future that can quickly respond to the changing fourth industrial revolutions, we provide various services and solutions that enable to digital transformation. We have know-how built up more than 35 years in different fields of analyzing and diagnosing data from the diverse engineering industry. So now we have a big clients and references including domestic power plants and large corporations. Until the day when our solutions are introduced in all factories to do a role of the experts, Future Main will become a main of a global market in the future. Thank you for your watching.
Have you taken a DNA test before? And still want to learn about yourself further? Introducing iSearchMe, a genetic analysis that evolves. Upload your DNA data to learn further about yourself. Cloud-based genetic service system. DNA big data. AI-based prediction model. iSearchMe, all written in DNA. Free of charge in 2020 only.
Hi, I'm Sang-min Lee from ION Communications. Let me ask you a couple of questions first. Do you still sign on paper? Do you still print out to sign documents? Do you still archive paper documents? If your answer is yes, you have been wasting a lot of time and money on signing documents. Now it's time for you to consider electronic signature that maximize your efficiency at your office. So, what is electronic signature? Electronic signature or e-signature refers to data in electronic form which is logically associated with other data in electronic form and which is used by signatory to sign. These are the problems of traditional ways of signing documents. First, printing out. If you print out all the documents, it costs a lot of money. Second, sending documents. If you send your documents by couriers spending a couple of days, or you travel with the document in person, it takes a lot of time and money. Third, storing documents. If you archive paper documents in a certain place, it means the documents are vulnerable to risk of damage by fire, water, light, and other factors. Lastly, environment. We have to cut the trees to make paper, so using paper does not help to protect our environment. So we have solutions here. With eForm, no need to print out to sign. And you can send documents online, and also you can sign anytime, anywhere. In other words, you can save a lot of time and cost. Let me introduce who made this. ION Communications is #1 content management system company in Korea and Japan with 21 years of experience in data management, and over 85% of total employees are developers, which means we are a tech-focused company. The most important thing is our electronic signature department is going to spin out from ION Communications with this reliable technology. But enough about us. Let's go back to our product and let me introduce you how it works. Using eForm is 3 steps, very simple. Step 1, create. Step 2, send it. And step 3, sign it. So you can create your digital documents online and you can send it by SMS, email, and other applications. And you can sign it with your mobile phone, tablets, and other smart devices, anytime, anywhere. And these are the eForm's advantages. eForm is perfect solution for remote working environments. You can exchange documents with signature without meeting anyone. And multi-parties can sign on the one same document simultaneously or sequentially, so it is very efficient. Another advantage is that you can receive the notification through many different kinds of messaging applications such as WhatsApp, Kakao, Line, and others. Lastly, it also provides online health questionnaire features for COVID-19 pandemic. Our business model is to provide annual or monthly subscription and on-premise. For subscription model, we have 4 different pricing plans from free trial to advanced package for enterprise level. And on-premise is average $50,000 per project, and market demand of on-premise is continuously increasing. Next, traction. The estimated annual revenue of this year is around $500,000. For past 4 years, average annual revenue growth is 110%, and average annual growth for number of users is 170%. We have 7 electronic signature related patents, and the estimated number of clients is 12,000 globally by 2020. Next is about market. The global e-signature market is increasing drastically in COVID-19 pandemic. The Korean domestic market size is $55 million, and APAC region market is around $3 billion, which is fastest growing market. Next is about market. The global e-signature market is increasing drastically in COVID-19 pandemic. The Korean domestic market size is 55 million US dollars, and APAC region market is around 3 billion US dollars, which is fastest growing market. The next slide is about funding. We're looking for 12-month financing to strengthen domestic market dominance and to expand overseas business in Southeast Asian market. The funding size we're looking for is 1 million US dollars as an initial investment opportunity and seed round for spinning out electronic signature startup. Lastly, meet our team. We have James O, founder and CEO, who has 25 years of experience in data management, and Rex Yu, director of e-signature, who is an electronic signature expert. Lastly, Bruce Lee, head of international business. Here I am. The next slide is about funding. We're looking for 12-month financing to strengthen domestic market dominance and to expand overseas business in Southeast Asian market. The funding size we're looking for is 1 million US dollars as an initial investment opportunity and seed round for spinning out electronic signature startup. Lastly, meet our team. We have James O, founder and CEO, who has 25 years of experience in data management, and Rex Yu, director of e-signature, who is an electronic signature expert. Lastly, Bruce Lee, head of international business. Here I am. This is the end of investor relations pitch. We are looking for partners and investors all around the world, so feel free to contact me to here, bruce@i-on.net. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nicholas. I'm a business manager of IRM. IRM is a medical IT specialized company. I would like to briefly introduce you to IRM and explain what strengths we have through the major businesses we are working on. IRM is a medical IT specialized company that develops medical data integrating and managing solutions using our own cloud-based medical data platform. IRM has been developing and serving the cloud platform and web-based solutions that comply with global standards related with medical data. From now on, I will introduce 4 projects that IRM is working on. With this, I would like to explain what core technical skills and solutions that IRM offers to carry out each project. The first project is the Korea National Level Health Information Exchange System, which has been supervised by the Ministry of Health and Welfare from 2017. This is a project to build a system that makes it easier to exchange patient medical data between hospitals and clinics across the country. About 4,300 institutions, including a number of university hospitals and general hospitals, are participating in the project. In this project, IRM is in charge of developing technology related to medical imaging data, such as building a standard integration platform that collects data from hospitals across the country and constructing medical image data repository. The second is a project for a multi-institutional image research platform which uses IRM's solution called Best Image. This project is in progress with the Korea Society of Radiology and is constructing a platform with functions for multi-dimensional image assessment, research, and reporting on medical imaging data. Also, researchers can create necessary form themselves or generate statistics for data analysis and can be converted into various types of files. The third one is an enterprise data platform construction project to realize data-based, patient-centered, integrated medical service. Currently, many medical departments in medical institutions operate different servers and viewers. Because of that, there are inconveniences and difficulties in mutual access. So this project was promoted to build a medical data integration platform. In this project, IRM will construct an enterprise data platform that collects medical data for each department. Also, IRM will develop a viewer that can read various medical images from different departments at once. The last is a project to establish a telemedicine service system between Korea and Indonesia hospitals. Its purpose is to provide higher quality medical services through remote collaboration and remote reading system that combines the latest technologies such as IoT, cloud, and AI. In this project, IRM uses a cloud platform to collect medical data from Indonesian hospitals and provide a system integrating technology that will connect with an AI medical image reading server. IRM has participated in IHE Connectathon every year since 2015 to verify its technical competency in medical data interoperability. IRM will continue to strive to provide a better healthcare environment through innovative technologies based on these technical competencies and experiences. If you have any interest or any questions, please contact to us. Thank you. Hello, my name is Nicholas. I'm a business manager of IRM. IRM is a medical IT specialized company. I would like to briefly introduce you to IRM and explain what strengths we have through the major businesses we are working on. IRM is a medical IT specialized company that develops medical data integrating and managing solutions using our own cloud-based medical data platform. IRM has been developing and serving the cloud platform and web-based solutions that comply with global standards related with medical data. From now on, I will introduce 4 projects that IRM is working on. With this, I would like to explain what core technical skills and solutions that IRM offers to carry out each project. The first project is the Korea National Level Health Information Exchange System, which has been supervised by the Ministry of Health and Welfare from 2017. This is a project to build a system that makes it easier to exchange patient medical data between hospitals and clinics across the country. About 4,300 institutions, including a number of university hospitals and general hospitals, are participating in the project. In this project, IRM is in charge of developing technology related to medical imaging data, such as building a standard integration platform that collects data from hospitals across the country and constructing medical image data repository. The second is a project for a multi-institutional image research platform which uses IRM's solution called Best Image. This project is in progress with the Korea Society of Radiology and is constructing a platform with functions for multi-dimensional image assessment, research, and reporting on medical imaging data. Also, researchers can create necessary form themselves or generate statistics for data analysis and can be converted into various types of files. The third one is an enterprise data platform construction project to realize data-based, patient-centered, integrated medical service. Currently, many medical departments in medical institutions operate different servers and viewers. Because of that, there are inconveniences and difficulties in mutual access. So this project was promoted to build a medical data integration platform. In this project, IRM will construct an enterprise data platform that collects medical data for each department. Also, IRM will develop a viewer that can read various medical images from different departments at once. The last is a project to establish a telemedicine service system between Korea and Indonesia hospitals. Its purpose is to provide higher quality medical services through remote collaboration and remote reading system that combines the latest technologies such as IoT, cloud, and AI. In this project, IRM uses a cloud platform to collect medical data from Indonesian hospitals and provide a system integrating technology that will connect with an AI medical image reading server. IRM has participated in IHE Connectathon every year since 2015 to verify its technical competency in medical data interoperability. IRM will continue to strive to provide a better healthcare environment through innovative technologies based on these technical competencies and experiences. If you have any interest or any questions, please contact to us. Thank you.